The next school we are going to present is Ikenobo, one of the oldest schools. And Mrs. Salansky gives the honor to present the Ikenobo school. And Annie de Sutter is making the second arrangement. Mrs. Salansky, our president for all of us, and Annie de Sutter, president of the Holland chapter of Belgium.
I'm going to do traditional shoka, ishuiki, using Western materials instead of traditional materials. Ikenobo does not arrange facing the audience, it's arranged towards me, and I will turn it around at the end.
I've never had this quiet of audience before.
But you promised to do the talking.
I will do talking. Actually, when we demonstrate, we should tell a story, but we should be concentrating on what we're doing. If you have ever seen Senko-sama demonstrate, she does very little talking while she's demonstrating.
But Ikenobo is such concentration that every leaf, every flower has to be in the right place.
So the basis of Ikenobo is to discover the inner characteristics of plants growing in nature and to express their natural form without unforced way. Mizugiwa is a name in Ikenobo. I don't know in other schools since I've never studied, but the Mizugiwa is the most important thing on our arrangement. It's our signature. It's where life begins. The life strength begins. And usually it's, if you're doing an arrangement, it's 2 fingers, depends on the size, or 3 fingers. And it's in a straight line, shoka, ishuiki, sanshuiki, and nishuiki is in a straight line. And it looks like one arrangement. Since I am doing ishuikis, this is going to look like this potted plant, how it's growing in nature, since I've taken it from this plant. And the Mizugiwa is our signature in Ikenobo. Learning from nature, humans and their Ikebana can grow. And an unusual material brings the element of surprise. I was in Kyoto in July, and I had a class, shoka class, and the class was to be traditional shoka using Western flowers, non-traditional flowers. And since I'm from Hawaii, I chose anthurium, and this is my ishuiki.
Annie is going to do the next arrangement, and Elle's class is going to do the talking.
Miss Salansky made a shoka shofutai, so a traditional shoka, traditional arrangement. Then we have 3 elements in a modern form. Designed or taught by our headmaster in 1977. We only have still 2 main elements left. We are no more talking about shin, so and tai, but we are talking about shu and yo. Annie is also making the arrangement towards her, and later on she will turn it around. Annie chose as shoe the crocus mia as material because it attracted her. She has taken a vase that is going up, and she said, okay, I will choose this crocus mia for the length to make it going more up as movement. And the idea of the late summer, we are at the end of the conference. She chooses theme, the end of the conference. And so still to work with materials typical for the end or going to the end of our summer, and giving a little bit already the impression of autumn that is coming, that is arriving. The autumn we can find a little bit back in the color of the fruits of the flowers that have been withered from the crocus mia. So in Shoka Shimputai, the shoe is chosen by yourself at the moment. You choose your plant material, the material that speaks to you the most on that moment. And then when you have placed your shoe, you will choose another material with contrast, so that you work with in and your qualities as much as possible. This to give more depth, more playing with structures, with colors, to give more space and interest to the arrangement. In Shoka Shofutai, the classic form Mrs. Salansky made, the Shin, Soe and Tai has designated directions more or less. In Shimputai we are free. So the modern form is in fact free, but still we have to keep our mizukiwa and the line in which is typical for shoka arrangement. Shoka is never arranged with wire, it's expressing living flowers. So as Ms. Salansky said, it expresses in fact the inner character of the plants, of the shrub growing, but in the Shimputai, the modern form, it's also expressing the liberty, the feeling the arranger want to express by him or herself. In Shofutai, the classic form, we have one material arrangement, two materials, three materials. The third material arrangement, it means we have maximum 3 different materials in shoka, came by the import of Western flowers in Japan. The shoka Shimputai is found a little bit its base in the Shofutai 3 material arrangements. Headmaster found that there was more need to have more free expression than the classic Rika standing flower styles and shoka living flower styles in the traditional forms, so he created in 77 the modern form of shoka. And then in the 90s he created a modern form of Rika, where also 2 main elements are left, the shu and yo, instead of the 9 main elements in the traditional Rika. In shoka and Rika we have always this mizukiwa, that's typical for the styles in the school. Only the jiuka is free and has no more mizukiwa as the other schools like Sogetsu, etc. knows very well. Ani, her shoe is going up, the character of the crocus mia, the long leaves, slender leaves going up. The greenery is still to express our feeling of summer, and then she chose as yo to answer to the shoe a material that's coming down, the wisteria, hanging. So the opposite between going up in this tall container, the vertical movement a little bit of the crocus mia flowers, and then the wisteria that's going down. Sometimes we need, or more or less, let's say always, an asherai, a helper. So we have our shu and you're communicating with each other, and sometimes we need still some color accent or something to found more the base, to make more connection with the vase. Nevertheless, the vase is not that important in shoka. The vase is just the kara is the earth, so the mizugiwa is the water edge, or the earth from which the plants grow up and grow to light and to live. Shoka is really very important in shoka, is the expression of live, really want to live. It doesn't matter, we cannot use withered flowers. Flowers that are already over the top, or like leaves who are beaten by insects, or because that's just showing the flow of time, like we people, from young, adult, and then growing older. Every stage has its own beauty. I think it's very important to combine these different stages. In shoka, still we try to express something from the season. In juka it's not necessary, in shoka because it's coming from a traditional style, even in the modern form, we try just to give some feeling of the season. And it chose for the dahlia to give us a glow of summer.